Alright, this is the brand new Moog ball joint that I just put in 2 days ago. Went and test drove the truck and almost crashed it. Well, this is why it needs to be changed. I shouldn't be able to move this, and then when it's in the truck, when I'm turning the wheel side to side, this thing's got vertical and horizontal movement. It should be fixed. I shouldn't even be able to move this. The snap ring is broken off, don't know where it is, and the joint itself is starting to come back out, so there's something wrong with the joint. Take it back and get the replacement today and see if that helps. If that doesn't, then I'm going to go with the Baja Customs solid bar and eliminate this thing altogether. See, it's going up and down. Brand new ball joint after test driving it. Now I have death wobble again. No. Keep going. All right, everybody, 2012 F250 four-wheel drive with the 6.7. I have death wobble so bad that I can't drive the truck anymore. I have literally replaced the Moog problem solver joint twice. The first one was bad directly out of the box. This is the replacement under the warranty, and it has lateral movement in it. So today I'm going to install the PMF dual steering stabilizer from PMF down in Tucson, Arizona. This is one beefy piece of equipment, and I opted for the Bilstein shocks because I'm poor and I could figure I can hide this from the wife a lot easier than the Kings. And then today we are also going to install the Tracinator arm from Baja Customs. As you can see, this is one beefy piece of equipment. You could go on their website, and I will say with both Baja Customs and PMF, I asked a lot of very stupid questions because this death wobble thing is completely new to me, and I'm extremely frustrated with it. So that is on the list for today. If everybody could bear with me, this will be my first time ever posting a video on YouTube. A couple of recommendations. If you don't have an impact gun, go up to Harbor Freight and buy one. I got this one here for, I want to say like $100, and it has more than earned its money. Everything on these Super Duties is cranked down and then some, and you will definitely need it. So I've already busted my track arm loose. This is the ball joint that we're going to eliminate with the Baja Customs Uniball and the Tracinator. This is the replacement joint. The first one from the factory, I could literally play with it from my fingers, with my fingers. This is the factory warranty one, and it has lateral movement. So as the track bar is getting stressed, I can see it literally going up and down on the ball joint itself. So I'm just done messing with these ball joints. And I'm going to replace this arm all the way back up into the bracket. And there'll be a Heim joint up there, and then the Tracinator is a uniball piece that's going to go in here, and it's going to be a whole lot easier to deal with. One thing, and a lot of the other videos show it too, you do need to take a grinder with a cutting wheel and cut the top of the threaded area off of the ball joint. Otherwise, the standard ball joint presses will not press it out, and you'll be extremely frustrated. Alright, let me get to removing some of this stuff and I'll come back. And as a couple of the other videos I found have shown, you're definitely going to want the impact driver for this. You need to jack up your truck And then once you have the axle on some jack stands, you need to jack the body up, and you can literally get your impact driver with an extension through over the bump stop for the front axle, and then either a wrench or something on the other side and just hold it and they'll come right off. And another thing I would recommend is when you're on if you're going to have to replace the ball joint for the track arm, this is a 12 or a half inch depending on what year for the brake line. Just get it out of the way, because once you put the clamp on, it'll be a whole lot easier. And it helps to jack the body up a little bit, otherwise you're not going to get the clamps in to be able to get on this. So here's the press I'm going to use. I went and rented one today because I don't have the need for one on a daily basis. It's just the standard rental tool press. When it comes to taking the track arm off of the track ball, I recommend this one right here. It took all of 3 minutes to pull it off. Otherwise you end up with pickle forks that are no longer good anymore, and it's not even worth the time to try and pickle fork it off. This took all of just 3 minutes, and I think I did like 3 cranks on it with the ratchet, and the arm popped right off the ball joint. Alright, so as you can see, the track arm is off of the ball joint. One thing you need to watch too, if you're not going to change out your arm to the heavy duty setup like I am, you need to see if the hole here is wallowed out. It's a tapered hole so it fits on the ball joint, but a friend of mine had his, and his was wallowed out because everything had come loose. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut that threaded part off so I can get at the ball joint itself to press it out. And also remember, there is a C-clip in there that has to be removed. Alright, well this isn't the prettiest of cuts. You don't really have a lot of room to move around in here. And if you're using the standard ball joint tool from your rental shop, what you're going to find is it will not fit. The ball joint itself is longer than the sleeves unless you go get the master ball joint press kit. And I've gone to a couple Harbor Freights and nobody has them. And even the Autoport store was out of it to rent it, so this is what you got to do. Next up on the list is removing the C-clamp that's right here, and then we'll press the ball joint out. Okay, so the C-clamp is just this simple. And it comes right off. And you're good to go. Next up, getting the ball joint press on this thing. Alright, you always want to try and make sure you get this thing flat. Otherwise the press is really hard to get in there straight. I don't know why Ford or whoever made these kits didn't make it better. Maybe it's in the master kit that I wasn't able to find. So let me go back and try to get it on there again. Alright, so after a little bit of fighting with it, finally have the thing out. Remember, when you put the sleeves on, you always want to put the big sleeves, get that line out of the way, over the top. You're only pressing on the axle part itself on the top, and then there's a small inner sleeve that will actually fit right down on top of the ball joint, and it presses right there on the seal. And then when you install it, you just kind of do the reverse. You don't ever want to press on the ball joint. But this, like I said, this is my second Moog problem solver that was messed up direct from the factory. That's why I'm eliminating it. So once you finally get this thing out, you're going to want to take a rag and clean up in here, get everything all cleaned up, make sure there's no burrs if there are, which there was when I took the other one. I took a little bit of emery cloth and cleaned it all up. And then what I'll do next is I will remove the bar out of the outside. Try not to damage the bolt. You're going to reuse it no matter what you do. And if you can't already see it, I've already replaced the bushing that was in there. That took about 30 minutes, and it helps if you have a press. So let me get this out real quick. Alright, so let me show you the difference. This is the factory track arm with the press-in bushing and isolator. This is the tapered end where the ball joint would be in the truck, and then it goes down in there and it presses and bolts up in there. If there is any movement whatsoever in that joint, you have to change both of them. There's just no point in changing one without the other. So what I'm switching to is the Tracinator arm from Baja Customs. Oop. Drop the bushing out of that. So basically what I'm going to do is eliminate the bushing and go to a Heim joint, which I never have to touch ever again, hopefully, which will be a whole lot stronger. And I'm also eliminating the flex in between the two and the rubber going bad, especially here in Arizona. The heat kills everything. And on this end, it's going to go to a uniball design, which I'm really looking forward to. And the nice part is all the parts for this upgraded bar, if anything ever happens or goes wrong, I can still get them from Baja Customs. All the bars. So basically what's going to happen is the ball joint will go in between. I'm going to press it into the axle. The bar will go in between with the offset spacers that will go on either side of the bar. And the nice part with doing this is I will have zero movement in that track bar. I do find it funny that Ford's idea of trying to claim that replacing the stock steering stabilizer is going to solve the death wobble issues for the Super Duties. That's garbage. I've replaced mine. I know people that have replaced theirs. It does absolutely nothing. It's a joke. So part of having to replace it is I found that now, having gone through the second one of these things, I'm just going to go aftermarket and do heavy duty and eliminate any possibility of flex whatsoever. And then once this Tracinator arm is in, I'm going to put the PMF dual steering stabilizer on there. And between the two of them and all the stuff that I've already done, I've already replaced every single steering component in the front end of the truck, including both hubs on both sides. And I still have death wobble. So this is my choice of last resort. All right, let me get to it. All right, as you can see, the guys at Baja Customs have given me some pretty detailed instructions on how to install it. You can also read it on the website and see the video of the track arm itself. And I gotta here again give out a huge shout out to Baja Customs and to PMF in Tucson, because I asked a lot of stupid questions and they were extremely patient and very informative. And that was the reason why I chose this bar over the ReadyLift bar. This one is definitely a lot stronger, a little bit more well built, and a lot easier for the do-it-yourselfer. There are some installer shops, but I didn't feel like driving 3 hours to have it installed when I can do it myself. So let me get to getting this thing in here. Alright, well, as per the instructions, I greased the inside of the mount on the axle, and I greased the uniball shaft. Now I just need to finish pressing it in and installing the C-clip. I'll be right back. This is so much easier than doing the standard ball joint, which is a giant pain in the ass. Alright, so in the instructions it says to make sure that you do not press against anything other than the outside of the top of the sleeve. And as you can see, the one piece of the press joint just fits perfectly. This is awesome. This is so much easier than I thought it would be. And give me a second and I'll get that pressed in and we'll go from there. Alright, just so you can see, this is why you take the brake line bracket out of the way. It just makes it a whole lot easier. Let's get this thing pressed in. Alright, that is a thing of beauty. Let me tell you, that is some precision milling work, and that is some precision design. That is just absolutely amazing. You can see the C-clamp is in. Well, maybe you can't. This is my first video, so that is absolutely amazing. Oh, this is going to be so cool. All right, let me get to assembling the other parts. All right. That is freaking amazing. This thing is beefy as hell. Got to give these guys a lot of credit. This thing was so easy to install too. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. All right. Now we'll work on putting the other end together. All right. We have the hive joint in. I checked the length. We're good. All I have left to do is to tighten the bar up. And we should be good. All right, give me a couple minutes to finish doing this. I'm telling you what, the engineers at Ford that designed these need to go talk to these guys at Baja Customs because they just outdid the shit out of them. Alrighty, everything in. I still have to tighten the jam nut up. And everything else is in and torqued to the specifications from Baja Customs. And hopefully this is the last time I have to deal with the track arm crap. Well worth the money. This is going to be one heavy duty product. Alright, let me tighten the jam nut up and we'll call this part good. Alright, sorry about that. My phone died. So now we have the Baja Customs Tracinator bar in, mounted, ready to roll. Everything's torqued. And then I've also installed the PMF dual steering stabilizer, which is really pretty cool. Hopefully this puts an end to all the death wobble, and we'll go clean up my mess and go give it a test drive and find out.